Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. This is Eduard speaking. Thank you for joining us today, this afternoon. We are not only live on Zoom, but we are also streaming live on the ASEA Europe Facebook page. This monthly call is not the ASEA Europe Power Up call. New name, new time, and even more fantastic content. So starting now, join us every third Wednesday of the month at 5 p.m. Central European Time for news, for inspirational content, and of course for business trainings from field, but also from corporate leaders to help you to build your ASEA activity. As you know, our brand promise is we power potential. What does that mean? As corporate, we are not only committed to the growth of this company, not only committed to the growth of ASEA, but we are also committed to the growth of each individual associated with it. Remember what we talked about last month during the last breakfast call. We talked about goal setting. We talked about concentrate on the bright spots. And we also talked about effectiveness versus efficiency. And we as a company, we want to lead with purpose. We want to speak with passion. And we want, this is very important, we want to help you to develop your talent into a strength and power your potential. And if there is someone very serious about powering your potential, it is our chair and founder, Tyler Norton, and we will have the pleasure to have Tyler with us today. Looking at the agenda of this afternoon, we also want to share with you about the emerging leader training. We want to share with you about the Ascent incentive trip. We want to share with you about ASEA on tour, and of course what you can expect. And we want to share with you about the ASEA Global Convention taking place in a bit more than 2 months. I can see that Tyler will join us in a couple of minutes. So before this, I suggest that we start with the update part. And I would like to hand over right now. Oh, Tyler just joined us. So let's stick to the agenda.
Edward.
Tyler, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us. I just introduced you. So with no other further ado, I will hand over to our ASEA founder, Tyler Norton. Tyler, thank you very much for.
Thank you, Edward. I was listening to your agenda overview, so I heard that, but I wasn't as a panelist, so I was actually here. It's good to see you, Reinder. How are you?
Very awesome. Good. I saw you as an attendee, which is also nice that you join our calls, but I decided to make you a panelist. Just
yeah, this is great. Well, hello to Europe. I mean, I wish I could be there and give all of you a hug. I'm looking at the list of attendees right now on my computer, and my heart is full. I miss you. I miss coming to Europe. I miss coming to your events. I miss the food. I miss everything. And I am so ready to get on a plane. I'm going to try to put myself in a suitcase with Jörg and see if I could sneak across the ocean on a plane somehow. But hello to all of you. I miss all of you. And I feel so thankful, Edward, to be able to join this call this morning and talk a little bit about what's happening here at the company. I shared a message earlier this year. I'm not sure if either of you, Edward or Reinder, have ever grown your own garden, but my wife has a love of gardening. And so when we had our little children at home, we would all go out and we would pick a section of the garden that each child was going to take care of. And we would plant different vegetables in the garden, and then we would kind of work the garden together. And some of the kids would keep their row perfect, no weeds, very clean. They would get up and water it in the mornings, and others didn't. And so it looked like this terrible garden, and then a beautiful row, and then a terrible row. But we would work it together. And when we were done in the fall, so August, September, October, we would have this beautiful harvest. And it was fun to teach our kids about planting and spending time focused on something that doesn't happen immediately. They live in the world of these phones. Everything's immediate. I'm not sure if it's DoorDash in Europe, but it's DoorDash here. Like as a kid, we never thought about, well, I'm hungry, so I'm going to order someone to bring me food from a restaurant to my house. And so we live in a world where it's not common to see people thinking about the law of the harvest, where you plant something, you work on something, and then it provides something. I will say this: Europeans have way better food than Americans on every level. I just want to be clear, every level. American food is horrible. It's horrible for you. It tastes horrible. It looks horrible. And anything we do good here is us trying to be like Europeans. That's the truth. I mean, that is the 100% truth, except Ireland, Alan, if you're listening, except Ireland. And so the reason I'm telling you this is because if you've ever grown, there's Alan, he's laughing. If you've ever grown a tomato in your own garden, and you've ever tasted a tomato from your own garden and a tomato from an American grocery store. This is not true in Germany or other great markets, but in the United States, I can't even begin to tell you the difference. The flavor is different. The color is different. Everything is different when you've grown it in your own garden. So why am I having this discussion about growing gardens? When you grow a tomato, it only takes a couple of months. How do you say asparagus in German, Edward? Or in the word asparagus?
I can only tell in French. My German is not that good. We say asperge.
Asperge. And Reinder, what's your native tongue is?
I'm Dutch. I'm from the Netherlands. It's asperge.
Asperge. Okay, so asparagus. I just want to make sure we understand what I'm saying. Does anyone know how long asparagus takes to grow? I'm asking, by the way, I'm going to look on the chat here. Spargel, someone is saying in German, Spargel. How long does it take to grow? Cosimo is saying 1 year. Someone want to Google it? 3 years from Marco in Marco Tomanek. Asparagus takes a long time to grow. And so if you're at a restaurant having Spargel or whatever you said in French, it takes a long time to get asparagus to harvest. And I was telling the people in the company the other day, 2022 is the year of the asparagus. It's not the year of the tomato. How long does it take to grow a tomato? Maybe 3 months. You can plant tomatoes in June and you can be eating them in a matter of months. But that is not true of asparagus. Now, why does that matter to you in Europe? Because we've been working on things in the company that are finally starting to harvest. And I know my dear brothers and sisters and friends in Europe always feel like I have to wait for things, and it's hard. We're in 33 countries, but we are moving forward and bringing things to the marketplace that you will be able to take advantage of that are asparagus that we've been working on for a long time. And one of the big initiatives may seem small to you, but to me, it's like a huge plate of asparagus. And that is a brand repositioning of the company around a promise called We Power Potential. Now, this sounds really nice, right? This is just nice language, but it's actually more than that. Because our brand, if you stop and think about the ASEA brand, really it's been redox signaling molecules. It's been the blue bottle. It's been the Renew 28. And I think as a company, that's become kind of the identity. And we're moving away from just a singular product identity into a bigger and broader understanding of redox and innovation. And we're doing that so that we can open up new avenues of opportunity for you. We're living in a world right now where redox is becoming more and more relevant at universities. I don't know in Europe, Reinder and Edward, but I do know in the United States, I search this every 4 weeks. Universities in the United States are starting to offer full bachelor's of science degrees with specialties in redox biology. And if you think about it, antioxidants were very, very common discussion point for many decades now. It's a joke in America. Like if you have cherry syrup in your drink, you have antioxidants. I mean, it became so common that everyone said, okay, I understand what's going on with antioxidants. Well, what does the word ox mean? It means redox. It's the part of redox. And what you're seeing now is the world understanding that there's two sides to the coin, that redox is reductants and oxidants. By the way, if I say to you antioxidants are good, I have by definition said oxidants are bad. Well, what if I told you that you die without oxidants? So our story is that there's more to the antioxidant story. It's reductants and oxidants. Now, I understand the limitations of what can be said around the world, trust me, but I need you to understand it. I need you to be confident in understanding what we're taking to the marketplace has great substance underneath it in our core technology. And we have been working on asparagus in new ways for you as an organization, and not just products, but in branding and positioning. So we're going to broaden the redox position, and we're going to broaden our approach to innovation. I want you to know that we are talking to laboratories all throughout Europe right now about major initiatives. We have research happening in European universities, several of them, and also all the way down to Chile and Argentina, but throughout the world. But a lot of our focus, and this is honestly, this is because of Nico's great work and his great network into Europe. But there's lots of interesting things happening that I believe will open the opportunity for you that says, now can you see how we're going to power your potential? So powering potential speaks to our products, but also to you as a person. And that's got to be a marriage. We have to meet together. You have to tell me and share with me your vision for your potential. If that part is asleep, or if that part is not engaged, and you're waiting for DoorDash to bring you the food, you have to be part of the garden too. You have to be out there working the garden with me. If we're both going to bring asparagus, which takes longer to build something, then we have to have a partnership. And I want to partner with you. I want to partner with Edouard and Reinder. I want to partner with every one of you on this call and anyone listening to it after this call, because your potential is my passion. You reaching your potential is my passion, which is why I'm desperate to be with you again, to be able to be with you. How many of you have a desire in your heart for something more? How many of you believe that your potential inside of you is not being met? Are you watching the Olympics? Are you seeing these competitions? Isn't it so beautiful to see people maximizing their potential in a very, very special way? Did you see the French, Edouard, the French figure skating couple? Like, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. And it's so obvious that they're the champions. It's like you're watching this, you're like, they're not even on the same level with other people. And I'm seeing this happen, and I'm like, this is what it means to power potential. We are human charging stations. We charge each other. We don't charge just plugging in a phone, right? We charge one another. And that's where I don't want to lose the humanity of what we're doing as a company, because you are also asparagus. You have to be grown. You have to be developed. And you have to come to the garden every day to do that as well. And so this concept of we power potential says that I understand that you and I are connected, and that for me to reach my potential, I have to be working with someone else who wants to reach their potential. I don't do very well with people who don't know if they want to go to the Olympics. If someone just wants to go ice skating at the local ice skating rink and just have a nice little day skating, and I'm trying to take them to the Olympics, it's never going to work. I have to work with people who have a vision that says, I'm going to the Olympics. This is why people like Zoltan for me are so awesome. I don't know if he's listening. It's like the second I'm around Zoltan, it's like he's an Olympian. Like, this is Olympics. He's going to the Olympics. It doesn't matter what's between him and the Olympics. He's going. And he's done it and proven it to so many people dealing with any number of challenges. This is very doable. Growing a business into Hungary, growing businesses all around the world now, frankly, it's so beautiful and powerful to see. It's an example of powering potential. It's an example of what you can do and become for yourself. What limits you from that? Same opportunity, same position. Is it the same garden? It can be. It needs to be you partnering with Edouard, with us as a company, with Reinder as a team, with all of the resources we're putting in place and the asparagus we're bringing to the table. And now say together, what is 2022 going to be like for me? If this is putting you to sleep, it's okay. I still love you. But if it's awakening you, if inside of you, you're saying, we will be 1 year older in 12 months. I know this. If we are blessed to live, we will be 1 year older in 12 months, but we could be 5 years better. And it depends on how we are approaching this year. In other words, time does not always equal growth. I had some people in my prior industry who were with me for 5 years and then came and said, I'm leaving the business. This is not working. And I said to them, you cannot leave a room you were never in. So how do you get into the room? And then the person would say to me, Edouard, but I have 5 years of experience. I would say, actually, You have 1 year of experience 5 times. What am I saying? I'm saying that each one of us decide to compound time into growth. Time and growth have to be looked at very carefully. You will be 1 year older in 12 months, but you could be 5 years better in 12 months. If you decide right now that 2022 is your year. And that is way personal. That is a discussion with the mirror. That is a person that declares independence from the weather. Do you understand the metaphor? It doesn't matter what the weather is doing around me. I am independent of the external environment. I am going to set my potential, and I'm going to turn 12 months into 60 months of growth. There is an opportunity for any one of you to do it. And if you don't believe me, take people that are proving it in your marketplace and around you and look at their last 12 months. Look at their last 24 months. Look at their last 36 months and ask yourself, is this something that can be done, and prove it with those around you? Not just in Europe. There are people around the world, even with a pandemic, even with COVID-19. We see this happening. So my challenge to you this morning, Edward, and I've probably talked too much, is just this. Number one, I love you. I love Europe. My son spent 2 years in Germany and just came home a couple months ago. So he's walking around the house talking German to me. I don't understand him. Our family, I have a German flag on my countertop because I think about him all 2 years in Germany. I'm watching the Olympics, and I'm watching Norway, and I'm watching all these places, and I have love in my heart for these beautiful countries because of all of you. I think of you when I watch the Olympics because I'm like, I know this country. I know the people. This is amazing. I'm rooting for other countries because of you. I want you to become Olympians. I want to power your potential. And I mean it. Now, if you're frustrated with me and I'm frustrated with challenges, and we all are, it happens. It's like a marriage. It's like a family. Every day you're battling to move forward. But you have the best team in Europe, honestly, period, full stop. Like, I feel I could move the entire corporate office to Munich and let Edward and team run this company, and they would do a better job than me. You have a great team in Europe. You have people ready to hear your vision for your Olympic run that will then step in and work with you. So your job is to bring me your vision of your potential. Your job is to come to the garden and also be willing to garden with us. And let's team together to power each other's potential. Let's be 12 months older in 1 year and 5 years better. Because it can happen. In my career, I went from being a street salesperson the first year of my career to a vice president over $3 billion of production in 7 years. And that's because I looked at every year as an opportunity to make 12 months turn into 5 years of experience. So I said, I've been doing this for 7 years, but it felt like 20 years because I was always in the game of powering potential, always in the game of understanding every resource the company was giving to me, every incentive, every event, every product SKU that I could sell, every message, every online tool, digital tool, anything I could use. I became the investigator of all of those things. And I stopped playing 2 keys on the piano, and I started playing all the keys on the piano because I knew where the resources were. My father would teach me, the smart people in business find out where the resources are first. They find out where the resources are, and then they squeeze that orange. They squeeze that resource to make juice, and they drink it. So my father every year, Edward, would ask me to list every resource I had that I could leverage. Every meeting, every event, every help like Reinder or other team members, anything coming from corporate. He didn't care. He said, do you know every key on the piano? Now play your music. Now play the music. But if you only see 3 keys, and you're playing a 3-key chord and you keep playing the same chord and say, this piano is not working. No, the piano's still there. You have to come with your potential to power your potential. I challenge you to make 2022 the year that you grow up 1 year, 12 months, but 5 years of experience. I challenge you to come to the garden every day and clean your row. I challenge you to think of your life like asparagus. There are times when you must invest in something 1 and 2 years before it's ever coming to harvest. And you have to do it every day to get to the asparagus. And I challenge you to see your future as an Olympic athlete, as an Olympian at the top. We will meet you there. I will meet you there. Edouard will meet you there. Reinder will meet you there. The entire European team will meet you there. But this is our year. 12 months older, 5 years better. And it's up to us. So I power your potential, you power mine, and together we power potential. Edouard, thank you for letting me join you this morning. I'm sorry I took so long, but I have some strong feelings in my heart about this is our year. And I don't want to talk about anything that's not perfect. I want to talk about where we're going. And I'll go right over the top of the challenges. Let's go. Let's do this together.
Tyler, thank you very much. Thank you very much for this message. And I know what to do when will come back home this evening gardening. And I'm very happy to hear that your son has a better level in German after 2 years than myself after 10 years in the country. Yeah,
that's right. But terrible French. He doesn't speak good French.
Yeah, there is always a way to improve. Absolutely. Tyler, thanks a lot for your time. We're all looking forward to welcoming you in Europe very soon. Before ending over to Reinder, I would like to mention that this call is recorded. This call will be available in our YouTube channel, ASEA Europe. And I would like to invite all of you to watch this message again. Tyler, thanks again, and have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. Be good.
Talking about using the tools and using all the key on the pianos, I would like now to hand over to our Director of Sales and Strategy in Europe, Reinder Limberg. Reinder will give you the latest news about incentives and events. Reinder.
Yeah, thank you, Edouard. I think Tyler already left, but the gardening example that he gave, it really took me back to my childhood. We did exactly the same with my parents. They asked us to do a little bit of gardening as well, but I don't know if this is good to share with you because my brother had a beautiful part and I had 2 parts. On one part, there were succulents that I did not need to look after at all. Just the rain itself was enough. And the other part was just strawberries, only strawberries, because gardening was not my thing. I love food. I love to eat, and I love to, maybe not so much anymore, but I love to bake. So I use these strawberries to go into the kitchen with my mom to bake. But yeah, it was just 2 things in my garden. But if you relate that to what Tyler says, using all the tools that you have, play all the keys on the piano. Maybe I wasn't doing it back then, but when you think about it now, there is so more potential that we can grasp. And yeah, so I want to thank Tyler for his powerful message as well. Then back to you, back to everyone on this call. Thank you so much for joining. Different timing, but yes, looking at the numbers, it's great to see that so many of you joined either by in Zoom or live over Facebook. And as Edouard mentioned, we still have a lot of topics to cover, starting with the emerging leader training, or as I like to call it, the ELT. Let's go to the next slide. The people that have been with us a bit longer know that we already had 2 qualification periods for the emerging leader training, or ELT. And it was actually the idea to come together this weekend here in Munich, just 5 minutes away from the office where I'm sitting right now. But unfortunately, this couldn't take place because of apparent reasons. We can't stress enough how important this training is for us, and we really want to make the most of this, to spend valuable time together with the associates who already qualified, but we also want to allow new joiners to qualify. And that's why we decided to start another qualification period, and it will start already this Saturday. The qualification period will run for 6 months, or to be more exact, 26 commission weeks, and it will end on August 20th. And the same qualification criteria apply as the previous one. So the idea is that we have 4 qualification criteria. You need to fulfill 2 to qualify. I will go through it. The first one is to generate a minimum personal enrollment volume of 1,500. The other one is to be paid at rank Director 700 or higher, a minimum of 13 out of 26 weeks, so 50% of the time. The third qualification criteria that we have is to successfully finish 2 fast forwards within that 6-month period. And the last one is to be an EMP earner. Doesn't matter if you earn it every week or just once. Once you are an EMP earner within one of these 26 weeks, you will fulfill this criteria. So there is something for people from different levels. New joiners still have the opportunity to join. People that have been with us longer, that might have a consistent rank of D700, they just need to be, they need to be active and actively engage with other people to get some enrollment volume in there to qualify. But yeah, many opportunities to do. And yeah, so I really hope that you are looking into this together with your team to make sure that you qualify. And what I want to mention is that we also decided to link this training to our upcoming European conference in Budapest for several reasons. One reason is that it will save you 1 trip, and we can also ensure that we will have the best lineup for you, so you can learn from the best. So as you can imagine, at our conference, we will of course have global leaders there, European leaders. We will have corporate executives at that event. And we of course want to leverage these people for this training as well, so we can have a lot of great content. So if you are already qualified, that's great. Put the dates, where is it? The 8th and the 9th of September in huge letters in your agenda, and set this as a goal for yourself. You have 6 months to qualify. Focus on 2 out of these 4 qualification criteria. Of course, you can have them all, and make sure that you qualify for this 1.5-day training. The training starts on the Thursday. So it's Thursday and Friday. And then the conference will take place in the weekend on the 10th and the 11th of September. Talking about the conference in Budapest, we expect this conference to be the biggest ASEA gathering in Europe we ever had. Our last conference in Lyon is already 2 years ago, and I feel it in the office. I feel it when I talk to associates. I think that everyone needs to come together again. At these events, you really experience what ASEA is all about. It's about the people, it's about emotions, it's about reconnecting with old friends, meeting new people, sharing stories, and just be inspired. I know that many of you already bought a ticket, but if you haven't, they are available in the virtual office shopping cart. Just similar to placing a normal on-demand order, you can see event tickets there, and you can buy your ticket there. It is, well, on this slide, you can see the prices that we have for the ticket and in different currencies. So please have a look at that, and hopefully you can join us there. But before Budapest, we have another opportunity to see each other, in this case, on the beautiful island Cyprus, our European ascent destination for this year. The qualification period is still ongoing, and it will run for another 3.5 weeks. If I'm not mistaken, it will end on March 11th. So please do everything you can to qualify. We still have many people in the running to qualify, But I'm also very pleased to announce, and you see the names on the screen, that we already have 15 associates from Europe who worked very hard together with their teams to qualify for this. So please help me congratulate them. And I'm going to do it one more time. I would definitely want to show you what this experience looks like. I can't wait to celebrate your success together in Cyprus and create an experience that will last for a lifetime. As you notice by now, events and coming together is a topic of today's Power Up call. And to be honest, I love it. Every time I'm traveling to meet with associate, I always mention that it's my favorite part of my job, and I really mean it. Technology has brought us so much, but it can never replace the power of being there, being present. And this is also one of the reasons that we've planned ASEA on tour. We will visit 4 cities in 3 weeks and hopefully meeting with many of you. This will be a great opportunity to get the latest updates from corporate, from us, and hear more about our brand promise that Tyler talked about, We Power Potential. And I'm also very pleased to announce that our Chief Revenue Officer, Jörg Höche, will join us on this trip. I also want to mention that this ASEA on Tour is a cooperation between ASEA and field leaders in these countries and cities. So I would like to take the time to thank Annemette and Hendrik from Denmark, Manuela Golescu from Romania, Sissel, of course, from Norway, and also Zoltan and his team from Hungary for investing their time and efforts in organizing these events. More information about these events can be found in the VO events calendar. And one thing that I also want to mention is that we would, of course, also use this opportunity, the ASEA on Tour, to create some excitement and momentum for the upcoming convention. Another opportunity to come together, our upcoming convention in Las Vegas in April, which will take place the 21st until the 23rd of April. So in a little over 2 months already. I know that some of you are planning to go, and of course I can't wait to meet you there, but I'm curious who is going. So please, if you're planning to go to the convention in Vegas, put a 1 in the chat so I can see that you will be there. And also, if you can't make it, but you have decided to join virtually, put a 2 in the chat so we can also know who already bought a virtual ticket. Just for your information, this ticket is also available in the virtual office shopping cart, and yeah, this will allow you the opportunity to watch the convention live from the comforts of your own home. And also another reason to buy this virtual ticket if you can't make it is that you will also, after the event, you can watch the recorded breakout sessions that will be recorded at the convention. As you can see, the convention team on this slide is We Are Innovation. This convention will all be about We Are Innovation, which is, of course, one of our brand pillars. We are innovation because of of the new products we are introducing, because of technological advances, and because of how we do business. I would like to thank Eduard for hosting this call, of course, Tyler for his powerful message, and you for joining live here on Zoom or on Facebook. And I would like to close with the following. ASEA is in the business of building people. We power potential. Thank you very much for joining. And as mentioned, this call will take place every third Wednesday of the month at 5 p.m. So hope to see you on March 16th. Thank you so much and have a great day.